Welcome back to the CryptoWorld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now there's a massive signal flashing on the Bitcoin chart that usually only happens at the end of Bitcoin bear markets and the beginning of Bitcoin bull markets. But while this is happening, prices are running into some resistance here in the shorter term, which I'll talk more about later in this video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin chart, just quickly reminding you that right now, the largest bullish divergence in Bitcoin's entire price history is still playing out. And obviously, if you've been watching my videos over the last 2 months, you would know that this massive bullish divergence has been playing out ever since the $15,500 low roughly 2 months ago. And generally speaking, these massive divergences here on the weekly time frame play out over multiple months. And so once again, I do continue to expect this massive bullish divergence to continue to play out as it has been playing out over the last 2 months. And now staying on the weekly Bitcoin chart, but taking a look at the super trend indicator, this right now is flashing a bullish reversal signal because the price of Bitcoin is currently trading above this red line right here, which is sitting at around 22.2k approximately. And now technically speaking, this signal that is flashing right now still needs to actually be confirmed with a weekly candle close above 22.2k. And in case you're wondering, the next weekly candle close is in just under 2 days from now, about a day and a half. And so basically, if the price of Bitcoin remains above 22.2k in around 2 days from now, then that will confirm this massive bullish signal that's flashing right now on the weekly Bitcoin chart in this super trend indicator. And now if you zoom all the way out here on the weekly Bitcoin chart, taking a look at the super trend indicator, you can see just how accurate this indicator has been throughout the last decade of Bitcoin's price history. First of all the way back here during late 2013 and early 2014, this indicator confirmed a bearish reversal signal at the beginning of the 2014 bear market, right as the 2013 bull market ended. And then as you can see throughout the entire 2014 Bitcoin bear market, this super trend indicator remained in the red, basically telling us even during these pumps right here that we are still in a bear market all the way up until the end of the bear market, at that point where we transitioned into a new Bitcoin bull market towards the end of 2015, because right there you could see that this super trend indicator confirmed a bullish reversal signal here on the weekly time frame and stayed in the green for the entire bull market. Even throughout these crashes right here, it remained in the green all the way up until the very end of the bull markets. And then once again, it confirmed a bearish reversal signal at the beginning of the 2018 bear market, remained red for the entire bear market all the way until the end of the bear market. And then as you can see for the 2019 bull run, which wasn't exactly a full-on bull market, but it certainly was a bullish run to the upside, around a 300% gain. It did indeed have a bullish reversal signal right at the beginning of that bull run, and then it flipped bearish again just after that bull run finished and stayed bearish throughout the entire March 2020 crash all the way up until around mid 2020, where it obviously flipped bullish again just before this massive bull run started that lasted throughout late 2020 and into 2021. And then during 2021, it wasn't as accurate as what it's been in the past, but we still ended up seeing a bearish reversal signal during the May 2021 crash and remained bearish up until around August to September, where it flipped bullish again. And obviously at that stage, in hindsight, we did not have a lot more room left to the upside, but the Bitcoin price still ended up pumping another 30% or so before we eventually topped out after this bullish signal activated here on the weekly time frame. And so perhaps during 2021, that was the only time period for the last 1 decade that it's been somewhat inaccurate, but so far it has been far more accurate than inaccurate if you're looking at the last decade of history, for example. And once again, right now is the first time we are seeing a bullish reversal signal since the beginning of this entire bear market. We have not seen a bullish signal like this throughout the entire entire last 1 year worth of bearish price action. So this really is a signal that could change the larger trend, technically speaking and historically speaking. But once again, we still technically need to wait for a weekly candle close in just under 2 days from now before we actually confirm this bullish signal on the weekly time frame. But if we're looking at the super trend indicator here on the 3-day Bitcoin charts, we have already seen multiple 3-day candle closes which have confirmed this bullish reversal signal here on the 3-day time frame, which is also the first bullish reversal signal in this indicator on this time frame that we've seen for over a year. Once again, even on the 3-day time frame, this super trend indicator has remained in the red for the entire bear market up until right now. We have officially broken the bearish trend on the 3-day time frame based on the super trend indicator. And now if you're looking at this super trend indicator on the 3-day time frame, this was actually more accurate during the 2021 phase right here, because basically the lower the time frame, the quicker this indicator is to reverse between bullish and bearish and between bearish and bullish. But then as you zoom out to larger time frames like the weekly time frame, it simply takes longer to get that reversal signal, which is why we're only just seeing the signal flash on the weekly time frame without confirmation. Meanwhile, on the 3-day time frame, we have already seen multiple candle closes confirming this bullish reversal signal here on this chart. And so once again, if you're looking at the larger time frames, we have the largest bullish divergence in history playing out right now. We have a massive bull run signal flashing on the weekly time frame that still needs to actually be confirmed, but we also have a confirmed bullish reversal signal here on the 3-day time frame that has already been playing out over the last week or so. But anyway, this is all talking about the much larger moves on the Bitcoin chart. If we want to know about the shorter term, obviously we need to zoom into some smaller time frames like the daily time frame. Obviously this isn't a very small time frame, but it is smaller than the 3-day charts. And right now we can obviously see that the price of Bitcoin confirmed a breakthrough, the golden pocket finally breaking above 22.2k with confirmation. And as soon as the price broke through that golden pocket, obviously it went straight to the upside, immediately up towards the exact 78.6% Fibonacci level, which is sitting at around 22.7k. And obviously I've been talking about that level for a while now on this channel. And so this 22.7k level is the resistance that I'm currently watching for the price of Bitcoin. But if we end up seeing a confirmed break through 22.7k, then in that case, I would expect a move up towards around $25,000 per Bitcoin, which is basically where this previous local high is sitting at. And if we break 25.2k, which is the top of this local high just here, then that would be an extremely bullish confirmation signal. But obviously that hasn't actually happened just yet. So 22.7k is the resistance to focus on, at least as of right now. And in terms of support here on the daily time frame, technically this previous golden pocket level of resistance should now be acting as new support, coming into play in between around 20.9k to 21.2k. So once again, that should now be acting as new support if we do end up seeing a bit of a retracement, for example. And now, once again, like I've been saying in almost every video since all the way back down here, I am still bullish on the trend for the price of Bitcoin right now. Technically, we are still forming higher highs, whether you're looking at these highs or these highs, and we are still in a higher low structure as well, which is of course a bullish trend on the daily time frame. But with that being said, if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin RSI, technically this is still in overbought territories. And as I also warned about for the last few days, this is potentially forming a bearish divergence on the daily time frame, because obviously while the Bitcoin price is continuing to form higher highs, we are potentially starting to see some lower highs form in the daily Bitcoin RSI, which is just something to pay attention to moving forward. But at least as of right now, we have not yet actually confirmed that potential bearish divergence here on the daily time frame. But as this bullish trend continues, just be aware that we're most likely going to form a bearish divergence here on the daily time frame. And of course, as soon as it potentially does confirm, I'll let you know about it here in these update videos and also in real time over on my Twitter, link down below in the description and in the pinned comment. But just keep in mind that a bearish divergence on the daily time frame can actually take multiple weeks to form form before it starts to play out. For example, the pump that we saw during July and August leading up to September 2021 out of that bearish phase during May, June, and early July 2021, we obviously saw the price of Bitcoin go almost straight to the upside without barely any pullbacks, and then we saw a slight cool off immediately when the RSI entered into overbought territories on the daily time frame, somewhat similar to what we have seen recently. But then over the next 1 month, we actually saw a giant bearish divergence forming while the price was continuing to make higher highs and the RSI was starting to form more of a downtrend, basically forming lower highs. And so once again, from the beginning point where this bearish divergence started to form here on the daily time frame, it actually ended up taking a few more weeks for this bearish divergence to fully form before eventually playing out in that September 2021 correction. And so even if we do start forming a bearish divergence here on the daily time frame, which once again is quite likely considering how high up the daily RSI reached over the last week, it could still end up taking a few more weeks for this bearish divergence to actually complete forming and start playing out, once again just based on that 2021 example. And now if you're looking at the much shorter term here on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, obviously a few days ago now we had a short-term bearish divergence here on the 4-hour time frame, which did indeed play out over around 2 to 3 days up until the exact point where the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI broke above this descending line of resistance, which signaled the end of this short-term bearish divergence, which is also what I talked about in my last video. And obviously at that exact point right there, that is when the bullish trend continued as expected. And so once again, right now, overall, I am still bullish on the trend. I'm more bullish than bearish. Just keep in mind, we do have a couple possible risks here in the RSI being in overbought territories and also possibly forming a bearish divergence that could continue to form over the next 1 to 2 weeks, for example. And now, if you're looking at the Bitcoin funding rate and also the funding rates for a lot of these other coins, first of all, the Bitcoin funding rates are looking extremely neutral because we're seeing some funding rates still in the negative, while some funding rates on some exchanges are a little higher than normal because normally they sit at around 0.01%. And so overall, in terms of the Bitcoin funding rates, they're not overly bullish or overly bearish right now. So they have reset a little bit since yesterday, because yesterday they were much more bullish than bearish. But obviously since yesterday, we have seen a bit of a short squeeze resetting these funding rates. But for the altcoin market, it's a slightly different story because most of these funding rates for the altcoins across most of these exchanges are a little higher than normal, which basically means a lot of short positions have been wiped out recently for these altcoins, and perhaps a lot of new long positions have been opened up, which means there could be some short-term risk in some of these altcoins that have higher than normal funding rates. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of a cool-off or at least a consolidation or slight pullback in some of these altcoins that have much higher funding rates. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and finally the price of ETH has officially reached this technical price target range, which is actually a price range coming into play in between 1650 going up towards 1.7k. And obviously if you've been watching my videos for the last few weeks, you'll know that I've been targeting this price range just here since this breakout all the way down here at around 1340 to 1350. So obviously a huge congratulations to those of you who took this trade all the way from this breakout to this price target range, because obviously anyone who longed that move or even just bought some ETH on the spot market at the breakout and held it up to this price target, you've done very well. So congrats to anyone who have been watching my videos for the last 1 to 2 weeks. But like Bitcoin on the daily time frame, we're also potentially forming a bearish divergence here on the daily Ethereum chart, because clearly the price is forming higher highs while the RSI is starting to form lower highs. But just like Bitcoin, this could potentially continue to form over the next week, for example, before it eventually begins to play out in the price of ETH. So just keep that in mind. It is not yet actually confirmed, but it is most likely going to form over the next week or so. But overall, in terms of the trend here on the daily time frame, I'm obviously still bullish because we're still successfully forming higher lows and higher highs in the price of ETH. But just keep in mind, we do have this resistance in between 1650 to 1.7k that we're running into right now, and a possible bearish divergence forming on the daily time frame that hasn't been confirmed just yet, but keep an eye out for that over the next few days or weeks. And now if you're zooming into the shorter term, taking a look at the 4-hour ETH to US dollar chart, obviously a few days ago we had that active bearish divergence here on the 4-hour time frame, which played out over around 2 to 3 days, all the way up until the exact point where the 4-hour Ethereum RSI confirmed to break above this downward sloping line of resistance, because at that point right there, obviously the price continued the short-term bullish trend as expected. And as for support in the short term, based on the volume profile indicator, we have support starting at around 1580 to 1590, and this support actually increases going all the way down towards around 1530 to 1540, where we have even more support. But if the price of ETH confirms a break below this low just here, first of all, in that case, that would be a bearish confirmation signal, and if that happens, then I would expect a drop down towards this next area of support at around 1.4k to 1410. But technically speaking, as of right now, the price of ETH is still in a bullish trend, but we are currently a little overbought in the imminent short term, which means we could see a slight cool off over the coming hours, maybe over the coming day, but that doesn't necessarily change the fact that we are still in a bullish trend. And now, if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter if the price is trending in the bullish direction, the bearish direction, or simply chopping around sideways, then make sure to check out these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money in either a bullish or bearish trend, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.